This is the number one reason why you don't let road rage get the best of you. The other day, okay, this is what happened.
Oh, I read this headline.
The other day, let me tell you what happened to me. Okay, and I literally flipped the F out. Okay, it got the best of me. I'm driving, and there's a lot of bugs. And a couple weeks ago, there was a ton of bugs up in North County. All these dumb butterflies flying all over the place. So the windshield gets dirty. So I flip on the washer and the windshield wipers to clear off the windshield, right? Well, apparently, there's this Mini Cooper that's behind me. You know, Fiats and Mini Coopers, they don't get along. And
that's you were driving the Fiat.
I was driving
my
wife's car. Yeah, I was driving my wife's car. And so
the car from Disney.
I flipped. Yeah, it's from Cars Land, and it's from the Luigi's Dancing Cars. Anyways, I put on the windshield wiper. Well, you know, when you do that on the freeway, it gets back spray. This guy was on my ass. Anyway, so he got.
You did it on purpose?
No, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't even know he was there until he whipped out and pulled alongside of me, and it was little fat guy. He looked funny that you bring up Disney because he looked like the guy from Toy Story 2, the one that hoards all the toys. Like the guy from,
I haven't seen it.
Okay, Toy Story 2 is a toy dealer, and he buys all the toys, but he resells them at a much higher price. Right. So he only sells them to collectors, taking them out of kids' hands, but he steals the toys. He's a bad person. That's what this guy looked like, right? He pulls alongside of me. This guy pulls alongside of me. I don't even know what's going on. He's going to start throwing his hand up. He's like,
he just washed his car.
Yelling at me. And I'm like, I look at him and I like throw my hands up like, what are you mad about? Then he cuts me off and flips on his windshield wipers and fluids and get windshield wiper fluid all over me. Now, the windshield wiper fluid, I see it as a casualty of the road. Okay, I'm not going to get mad at somebody for doing that because
it happens.
It happens, and you have to look out for yourself first. I'm not mad about that. I'm mad that he cut me off and then took off after he did it, like he was some kind of thing. So then I chased him down. So I got a Fiat and a Mini Cooper chasing each other on the 101. And
what are you going to do when you chase him down? Throw your hands up in the air?
This happens up at Spring. This happens at Spring Street. I was thinking I was going to run into him. I was so mad. This happens about Spring Street, and we're going at it all the way to Maine in Templeton. And I'm like, what am I doing? And finally, I let it way off. But I did see where he got off and went back. And I think he lives in that neighborhood over there by a suburban propane. So, cream-colored Mini Cooper.
You're coming for you,
I'm watching you. And I was thinking, man, I'm going to drive around that neighborhood. I'm going to key that car.
But this guy.
Then I'm like, what am I thinking?
But this guy that you're bringing up, the motorcycle, right?
The worst.
He flipped off the car.
The worst.
When you pass on the right, that's the worst.
Here's what the TV station had to say about it.
Deputies say a motorcyclist is in critical condition after allegedly flipping off a driver on the highway and then crashing. The woman and her child were making a left turn when authorities say the motorcyclist revved his engine behind her. The man in the black Harley Davidson then passed the woman on her right and flipped her the middle finger. She says he then got in front of her and turned around to flip her off again. When he lost control, he hit the curb and crashed. Authorities say they performed CPR on the motorcyclist, who was taken to a hospital via life flight in critical condition.
It doesn't sound like it's going to have a good ending for that guy. Via life flight, critical condition.
Yeah. And so he flips her off. He's passing her on the right. He flips her off. Then he gets in front of her and decides, you know what? I'm going to do it one more time. And that's what got him.
I'm going to really drive this nail. I'm going to drive this message home. I feel bad because the guy might die.
Yeah.
So I don't want to speak badly about him.
He goes to flip her off again, and that's when he turns back, and who knows? I don't know what happens.
He lost control of the motorcycle.
And he goes down, and now, Do you feel bad if you're the person that's getting flipped off?
Yeah. Because, a guy could have died.
But it's not your fault.
And
that's all on him. It's karma.
I still feel bad because it's another
road rage karma.
It's another human being, though.
Sure, you don't want them to die.
Because
you want to go to their hotel room and say, "See you, freaking angry jerk."
As much as I hate guy from Toy Story 2 that drives a Mini Cooper that's tan in North County,
you didn't want him to get life flighted out of there.
I don't know, maybe.
So here's your lesson, all right? Hey, listen, I've done it. I've caught myself getting a little ragey, kind of getting behind, and then I'm like, what am I going to do? Why am I following this? What am I going to do? I'm like, okay, this is dumb. They got me. They got me. So now I'm looking for these people before they even get me. And they're the people that come up behind you and they're right on your ass and you're in the fast lane and then they get in the right lane, the slow lane to pass you on the right, even though there's nowhere for them to go. my foot's on the gas pedal, speeding up to the guy in front of me so you can't get in front of me. Yeah, that's me. That's me.
So you're causing the road rage.
No, this person's causing it back there by being unsafe.
No, take a deep breath.
You don't need to pass me on the right. There's nowhere to go.
Let them continue their road rage beyond you, because when you're surrounded by the road rage, it's never going to end. Like, you'll end up like this guy, falling off your motorcycle, even though you don't drive a motorcycle, but flipping somebody off and getting in an accident because you're flipping somebody off. And then ultimately the person that you're up against in road rage wins. Like this woman with her kid won the road rage battle, because the guy ended up on the curb having to have CPR, life flighted to the hospital in critical condition.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.